Bike instead of being taking marijuana. Is it?
Yes, people, welcome back to the First XI. It's Monday evening. And what better way to do that than to laugh at Aaron? I mean, talk about the EFL. How we doing, guys? How we doing?
Yeah, I was doing good until that point. To be fair, I can feel satisfied that I got my Morecambe predictions somewhat right, saying that Morecambe would get something out of that game. I did. I was right in that regard. Just a bit unhappy that Rovers didn't summarise my needs for this weekend. A bit disappointed, but we'll gel together over time.
Rovers are just
we gave you 10 out of 11 topics, so we thought it was going to happen.
Hey, I thought Wellens ball was meant to rip up the league, but we'll get into all of that. My team lost as well, but I can be somewhat happy. And I know Charlie was like, I can. I can.
You didn't even score either, so that's even worse.
And
mate, to be fair, we did nearly score. But no, I can be somewhat happy. I mean, I watched the replay. Like, I've watched the full match, right? And yeah, it is a bit frustrating, but there were positives. And to be frankly honest, those mistakes better be cut. Those I frankly don't care, mate. He's got about 17, 18 goals in this league each season he's been in it, so it's hardly surprising. I mean, when you gift it to him like the way we did, I mean, I could have scored it. If I was in Ladapo's position, guess what? I've just got on and got myself an EFL goal. Trust me, those mistakes.
Is this new defence working all right for you then, instead of the old?
It's had one fucking game. It's had one game. It's had one game. Look, both goals were sloppy. We'll get into our goal. We'll get into our goal. But both goals were sloppy. But Charlie, you also lost this weekend.
Yeah, mate, it was shite. I mean, it was annoying as well because like on the Friday, like 3 of our strikers got confirmed injured, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then like we didn't really have many shots. It was mainly Mansell, but like basically they had their whole first team out pretty much. All their new signings played, and then there was us. Half of our first team were injured. Shit ref as well. Give a penalty when both players were tangling with each other. And it was like the 96th minute or something like that, and it was just a piss take. But yeah, we scored a worldie. Like I put the link in the thing. Like our centre back probably scored one of the goals of the season, like first time volley from the edge of the box. But yeah, just shit ref and not the best start.
Shit refs. EFL's back then. Prime in the building saying let's go. Indiana says Bristol Rovers return pub league, no longer the gas, just ass. Be able to watch them on the downs before we know it.
Says the part-timer.
Big up to Max as well. Donny apparently should have drawn because of an offside. Charlie, your voice is back.
Their first goal was offside.
Yeah, nearly.
It's a wanker.
Nearly.
Yeah, but it wasn't offside. Well, it wasn't given as offside. And to be fair, the only way that I would have said it was offside is if it was you that scored. That would be the only way that I would ever agree that it was offside. I haven't even seen it, but you know what? It would only if you guys scored.
Yeah, no excuses either, because Aaron said in his preview that they'd win 3-0.
Oh, we absolutely. I've got all of that. Don't you worry about that. I've got all of that. Big up to Chris as well. But we'll start with League One. Obviously, we've got the 5 that we did the preview for, so they're the 5 we're doing the reviews for. Believe it or not, I know, shocking. Less work for me as well. But we're starting with League One, and no better place than to start with Argyle, is there? We lost 2-1. No, not 2-1, 2-0. Fuck me, we weren't going to penetrate the defence. we weren't going to penetrate their defence even if the game was going for the next 5 years.
At least me and Charlie scored a goal.
Yeah, but you weren't playing. You weren't playing tabletoppers Rotherham, were you? Who were the yo-yo club of the championship. So back down, mate. Back down. I was somewhat right. I got half the prediction right. I said they'd score 2 goals. Didn't expect us not to even score a goal. But to be fair, I am somewhat okay with it, and I'll explain why. So the best way to do it is I've even been nice and got stats for you guys. So got the match stats of the game. Dominated the possession, as you'd expect. YNO team do tend to like to have the ball. Weren't doing anything with it, of course, just patting it around like, woohoo! Absolutely fucking brilliant. Then we move in forward. Got about as much penetration as Sideshow Bob. It was absolutely horrific. Rotherham played the most ugliest football in the world. Ugly football. It's worse than Wycombe Wanderers football, and that says everything for me. The reason I'm not upset about this is, as you can see by stats, yeah, they dominated the amount of shots. To be fair, most of them came in the second half when we were just desperate to try and get a goal. We limited them to very little good opportunities, though. Cooper wasn't really tested that much, and when Ladapo did finally want to run, he would just shoot it at Mike Cooper, and Coops was like, yeah, I'll take that, thanks. It was quite easy for him, apart from the 2 goals. The first goal was an absolute shambles. It's come from a set piece, which, standard really. The ball's come in. We've had yo-yo. We've just yo-yoed the ball in the middle of the box. No one's decided to put their foot through it and just whack it out, even for another corner. Or, pelt it, I don't know, Ladapo's nuts, for example. That would have been nice. But yeah, and then Ladapo's basically had an open goal because Coops ain't getting that. I know he's agile and that, but he ain't that agile. So Ladapo's pretty much had an open goal. If it's not an open goal, it's at least 75% of the net to aim in, and he's about a yard out from it. So if he misses it, he's just got to quit football, I think. I would have scored that if I was Ladapo. Second goal, really sloppy. Player slips, loses possession. They hit it down our left-hand side, their right. Cross the ball in, back post, man unmarked, top bins sorted, game done. Second half, they did fuck all. We were dominant in the second half, apart from towards the end, as I said, when we're throwing all guns blazing, including putting our 18-year-old Wee Shirley up front, because that works. We need to get another striker, that's for sure. We then put on Brum Brum to replace Danny Mayer, cam for cam, or, playmaker for playmaker. Brum Brum ends up at left back. Don't ask me why. I'm not worrying though. When we've actually got a left wing back on the bench, wouldn't want to use that, would we? Though that would be too easy. That'd be simplified. But overall, yeah, disappointed that we got the loss. But to be fair, I saw a lot of positives. I did see a lot of positives. What we need to learn is how to penetrate the defence, because it's all very well having the ball, but if you're not going to do anything with the ball, there's no point having it. So the players need to work a bit sharper. The passing needs to be sharper, but also when we're dealing with a high press, they need to, they need to start penetrating. We also need a plan B. I don't think we necessarily have much of a plan B, because I said this on my review. I'd love a target man at Argyle, but it can't just be a target man, because we're only ever going to use them as an option B. It's never going to be option 1 for us. So what I want is a target man who's got some footballing ability, that has got a fairly good first touch and is able to play a different way as well. Ennis can sort of do that, but he's also about 5'2". So, not really going to be the best target man in the world, is he? He's very physical, though. He's a very physical player. I suppose the other loss was him being out. Obviously, he was meant to be playing. He was meant to be starting, but he had to pull out because he had a tight hamstring. That doesn't help.
He's a big miss. He's very tricky to mark as well.
Yeah. I mean,
he found out last season when we played you away.
Yeah, he's a really tricky player, and he's a player that is just going to get in your face. He's not afraid. He may be 5'2" or whatever he is, but he's going to headbutt you. It's going to be like the flying headbutt. Like he's a tricky little fucker to deal with. So Yeah, we lost, but I did say in the preview it was never going to be an easy game. Anyone thinking we're going to New York Stadium wiping their asses, not a freaking chance. You're deluded. Stay away from football and hot knives. Knives, hot things. Don't touch any of that because you're clearly delusional and not safe to be around. But to be fair, it only gets easier from now. I mean, we've got Gillingham next at home park. I also think the home fans had a real impact, unlike at Doncaster. I think the fans had a real impact because Ladapo, if fans aren't there, Ladapo is not that fired up. He's a useless wanker anyway. He's a lazy git as well. He wouldn't be fired up. So, there were sort of circumstances. Look, yeah, it's a loss, but things only get better from now because we've lost our first game of the season. We didn't score. But
you'd like to think so anyway.
Yeah, but we've played the hardest team in the league, I think. Rotherham are going straight back up. There's no doubt about it. You might as well swap Rotherham and Derby now. Just be done with it. Because they're just going straight back up. Like they've got 2 promotions last time, 2 times they've been in this league. They're going back up. They know what they're doing. They're going straight back up. They're like too good for League One, but too shit for a championship. It's unbelievable. But yeah, toughest team over and done with. Now on to Gillingham next Saturday. But before that, we've got Peterborough tomorrow in the Cup. So that's our goal.
Don't worry now. Peterborough got battered 3-0 by Luton, so you should be all right with this.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that. Onto the Keepmo, and obviously Doncaster Rovers. What a game! What a game they won. Oh shit, lost 2-1.
3-0 they won, didn't they?
I apologise.
Oh no, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know why it says Aaron 2-0 there. I'm pretty sure he predicted 3-0. My mistake.
I think I predicted 2-0.
No, he done it 2-0 on here, but he done 3-0 on his own video.
Yeah, I was confident a bit more. I had an extra goal.
You got a bit more confident.
That's just out of order, if you ask me. You should be consistent, Aaron. It seems like you're not. It seems like when you get to us, you're like, fuck me, we can't be overly confident. But talk to us about the humiliating loss at the Keepmo then, because I'd love to hear it from you.
I mean,
only one shot on target as well.
This is the first time I've seen the stats, actually, so I'm kind of concerned that it was only 1 on target. But no, from what I saw from the stands myself, I think that. And please let me explain the whole thing so you guys get an idea if you've seen it. So, in terms of the first half, first of all, I can say without a doubt that for the first, I'd say half an hour, we looked disjointed. We looked sloppy in places. We didn't really pass the ball well. Wimbledon came up 5-4 in the first half an hour. Gradually, towards the end of the first half, we gradually got back into it. We got a lot more of our passing game. The problem really was, and this came across both halves, we didn't play a lot of what we think was the better football that we played a lot across the game, which was more passing patterns and along the ground football, where it's sort of quick movement, rat-ta-ta-ta-ta. We started just playing hoofball and just trying to hoofing up the wings and trying to play a crossing, where Wimbledon were usually great in the air, so that really never works. We kept trying something that never works. It's like insanity trying to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. We were playing hoofball down the wings and expecting a better result, and it just wasn't coming, and we weren't learning from our mistakes. Second half, quick start, good goal from Charlie Seaman. And trust me, I think Seaman's a great player. I think he's great going backwards. He's great playing forward. So, Charlie, I think Seaman put a deep. I think
up the Seaman.
What?
What a name! What a name!
I've spoken to him personally before the season. He's a decent guy.
You have. Did he offer you a season?
Oh, for God's sake! It was a good player. He was a good player on the day. And then gradually we sort of grew out from the first 5 minutes of the second half, where we went into it all guns blazing. We gradually went back in our shells quite quickly, and Wimbledon just pressed against us. I think Tom Anderson fell over a couple of times. He looked very ropey at the back. Our captain, and the only player that survived from last season in that starting lineup. We had 10 debutants, so he was the only player to survive. The captain looked very ropey at the back at times, but I could tell before the match he had his game face on, but it just didn't work. I think that Niall at right back is probably one of the only bright sparks from the match. I think going down that right-hand side, I think he looked right from the off. You could tell he was a great right back from the off. Tommy Rowe looked like he'd never been away. He was comfortable. He was gifted. He was trying to play the ball. I think Roshan Williams looked a bit ropey at times at the back as well. I think in the midfield, Close looked a bit out of shape. I think that Matt Smith faded away in the second half. I think that when Bostock came on, I think he looked a little bit better in midfield as well. I think that Gardner looked a bit ropey in the first half, a little bit better in the second half, but again faded away. I think Barlow wasn't afraid to run at defenders, but again faded away quite quickly. I think Thiago Chikera up front never received any support, so it was really difficult for him to get any chance on target. I think Ogle, when he came on,
with Wonder Kid.
Yeah, he didn't get any support. He didn't get any support whatsoever, and he didn't have the support to take his chances. Good statement, Mustafa.
I agree with that.
I think Omar Bogle, when he came on, didn't look that much better. But again, he's just trying to improve his game position-wise, so it'll come. But overall, I think the main thing for us is we looked like a team of 11 individuals. We didn't look like a team yet, but because it's a rebuild process, gelling together as a team, playing more together as a team, that's going to come with time. And the rebuild's going to come with time. So we take tomorrow's Carabao Cup game with Walsall as a time to gel together. We take Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday as a time to gel together even more and beat the fuck out of Darren Moore, because I really want that.
If you lose.
They're definitely not getting anything against Wednesday, I can assure you that.
Well, this is the perfect test this is the perfect test to gel the team together a lot more. Get a result.
Not that quickly. I remember when Ryan did the rebuild in League Two, and we came up against Exeter in October. Fucking October. It was still quite a while. Fucking got our asses handed to us 4-0, so I wouldn't bank on it, mate.
I would like
to be fair, in derbies, you genuinely want them gelled already because you need that togetherness in a derby. You just better hope that Wednesday are also going through a sort of gelling process.
I'm praying. And to be fair, I had a couple of Sheffield Wednesday fans saying, "What's your prediction?" And I did say 2-1 to us if we can snatch it and keep our concentration on. If not, I'm probably expecting a 1-1 draw. But if we switch on, communicate, gel together, and actually prove we're a team, not 11 individuals, I think we can get a slight victory over Wednesday. It will be a very, very tough game, though. One of the toughest games this season so far. My man of the match, though, I'll say this, though, despite conceding 2 goals, and you might laugh about this, my man of the match was actually our goalkeeper, Pontus Dahlberg, because the build-up to the second goal wasn't great. He was involved in that at the start, wasn't great. First goal he couldn't save. But apart from that, he made up for that with commanding his area, the speed to command his area, few world-class.
Apparently, though, he could have done better with the free kick.
That's what I mean. The second goal he could have done a lot better with. The first goal he couldn't do much about. The rest of it, though, was world-class saves, commanding his area, speeding across his area, making the right decisions. And trust me, if you thought Lewis Jones was bad in pre-season and low on confidence, the perfect guy to get the confidence in him to get better and get better over time, Dahlberg's the kind of bar you need to raise up to, because Dahlberg's proving to Lewis Jones how you need to improve. And Dahlberg's probably the benchmarker for how Jones needs to improve. And I think you can tell that Dahlberg's a £3 million player.
I just think it's funny that he was like, I just think it's funny that Jones, Wellens was like, "Yeah, Jones, you're my number one," and then after pre-season, he's like, "Get the fuck on the bench."
Get the fuck on the bench and get Dahlberg in. Well, I'll give credit to AFC Wimbledon. Finally, I will say I'll give credit to AFC Wimbledon, because I was speaking to loads of Wimbledon fans before the match at the stadium, and they were saying that we're lucky if we scrape a draw against you. We think you're gonna beat us. And I said to him, I've got a gut feel that you guys might go for it, and you might get something if we're not switched on. What did I say? We weren't switched on at times, and they got 3 points out of us. So, it's one of those things where you have to learn that every game is going to be a cup final during this rebuild. And we have to stay switched on 100% of the time. Every cup game, every league game is going to be a cup final for us. So Luke McCormick was my man of the match for Wimbledon. He was a danger threat for the entire match. He was definitely the standout player for AFC Wimbledon. Ollie Palmer's a dirty fucking prick. He was pulling our players. He was putting 2 studs up. He was kicking the ball away. He had other players kicking the ball away. They're all a bunch of dirty fucks. And their youngster.
Yeah, but that's what every away team does, though. Every away team in that league do that. You know, it's just,
I would like it. Actually, that's a lie. I would like it if my team did that, you know, but apparently not.
Well, the referee was a dirty prick. He was a dirty.
Oh, don't go in.
Even the ref was getting involved, 2-footing as well.
No. I'm not blaming the ref. I'm not blaming the referee, but I will say that a few decisions he should have got right. But overall, we go ahead to Walsall tomorrow. We go ahead to Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday, and we just moved on. We gel together. As
a former referee, it's impossible to get every single decision right. So
I know that, but
the only ones I'm critical of,
mate, they're a lot worse in League Two. Just saying,
the only ones I'm critical of are the Premier League, because they've got a freaking screen next to them that they can just recheck their decision. So look, it's difficult.
Just to finish off and summarise, overall, we just move on to Walsall and Sheffield Wednesday and just try and keep building. We're going to gel together over time. It's just going to take time this season. This season's a rebuild season, don't forget. So
trust the process, like you said.
Trust the process.
Moving on, Ipswich got a little bit of a humiliation here because no one predicted. Well, apart from Aaron, but that was quite a stupid.
What did I say though last week? I wouldn't be surprised if even I said 3-0. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they bottled it and they were lucky as well because Morecambe went obviously 2-1 up as well, didn't they? And Ipswich
looked brilliant in this match. They looked great.
Ipswich had to, fight back and equalise, but like them as well though, they have got a lot of. I mean, this is sort of an excuse, but they did have a lot of new players. They haven't played much because if you look at their team, I know, like even me, I was saying it's gonna be a thrashing, but pretty much all their new team are new players. But fair play to Morecambe, man, decent away, grinded it out with 2-2 draw. What a result!
Millions of pounds on your foot, millions of pounds.
Well, it's only one game, but no, it's not great for them. And looking at the stats, I mean, it doesn't get better for them. Like when you have 13 shots and only 3 on target, something's fucked up.
Morecambe striker. I think his name's Cole Stockton.
Yeah, Cole Stockton.
What a performance from Cole Stockton!
2 goals on it.
Not gonna lie, I'd quite like him at home part. To be fair.
I think only him and Gareth McCleary are the ones to score more than 1 goal on the opening day. So they're now top of the. I think that's the only time we'll see Morecambe on top of the goal scorer sheets. But yeah, McCleary and Stockton are top goal scorers.
You never know, though. You never know.
Stockton might do well in League One. Max says he's one of their own. Yeah, he is one of their own. I'd love him at home park if he's got that sort of goal scoring ability.
What's wrong with Jeff Carr?
Well, you need more than 2 strikers for an entire season, don't you?
Yeah, true.
That's what I thought. You make stupid comments. I make stupid answers. Unless you want to go just 2 strikers all year, but I get a better.
Where's Brian Hardy? Is he still at you?
Yeah. So we ideally want 4 strikers who covers for injuries as well. Because the prime example was Ennis got injured before the start of the game, and we're bringing on an 18-year-old from our youth academy, and we're expecting him to make a difference against Rotherham. Not going to happen. Yeah. So, and we also need a different plan because Jepcott right now is really low on confidence, but it's also because we haven't got a fucking left winger putting crosses in for him. It's very simple why Jeffers is struggling. It's because there's no one putting crosses in the box for him. He thrives on crosses. He loves it. It's why when Cooper's there, he was. I think Jepcott had one of the highest conversion rates, and Cooper had the highest assists. It's not a fluke that they work really well together. So, the quicker Cooper gets back into playing would be ideal. But yeah, you do need more than 2-3 strikers. I ideally need 4 because we play with 2 strikers. So you want the ability of rotation and a different plan. And ideally, I would like to see Reece and Ollie Tomlinson go to Torquay and just have a season down with them and National League. And the thing is with Argyle and Gary Johnson, we trust Gary Johnson to do the right thing with the players. He plays the right way with Torquay. Prime example of Adam Mandel. And it gets them experience. It gets Torquay a couple of really good young talents. But enough of Argyle. But yeah, on to this one. This was a bit of a shocking game. It finished 0-0. Only Charlie got the. Oh yeah. By the way, you get a point for the right score. You get a point if you get the exact scoreline right, you get a point. If you get the sort of the score-ish right, so like it's a draw. Let's say you say a draw, it's a draw. You get a point. So Charlie got a point. There. Charlie got a point against Charlton and Sheffield Wednesday.
Look at that, man. One shot on target the whole game.
I mean, that is appalling. That is appalling.
I'm actually surprised that Sheffield Wednesday got the shot on target there. So shit, I thought it would be Charlton.
Mate, their team's getting better though. Their team's getting better.
I'll give them credit. They brought in the likes of Peacock Farrell and Wing and things like that. And I think they brought in someone recently, didn't they? Over the last couple of days.
It was just really poor. Was it who said?
It's Darren Moore, so it's no worries. So it is a poor.
Well, there was that.
Same Darren Moore.
There was that video as well, wasn't there? There was a video of that Barry Bannon. That went through the whole skinned. I think he nutmegged two Charlton players.
Yeah, if they can get their clinicalness, sorted, Barry Bannon could actually rip up this league.
Yeah, because I seen the bad thing with them as well. Because I was on a show with a Wednesday fan last night. That Jake Aaron from and he was saying Callum Patterson. He went off injured in the first 5 minutes, so that basically that's why Wednesday didn't really cause much.
To be fair, they brought in Lee Gregory a few days ago from Stoke.
Mate, that's a class signing. If they can get him banging, mate, he done class in League One.
And that's what I mean. Sheffield Wednesday have the players to rip up this league, but if the manager's not got them winning, he needs to go. Sack Darren Moore.
Yeah, but you just have a hatred.
Yeah, that's a decent point against Charlton. Charlton have favourites to go up as well.
Do you know what? Darren Moore is better than Wellens, so you lot made the mistake of getting rid of him.
No, he just wants to go, so we'll let him go.
Nah, to be fair, you should have got on your hands and knees and started begging because you're never going to get someone like that.
We gave him all the backing.
But that clearly wasn't enough. He wanted Coppinger begging for mercy, and I think you should have done that.
All it was, right, is he wanted to go to a better club, and we will see it this season. Donny will be fighting to stay up, and Sheffield Wednesday will be.
I'm not even joking with Charlotte.
I think it was Michael Richards that said, or Jermaine Genius that said he wants to go to a bigger club, not a better club.
Well,
and I saw that as
bigger, better, same thing. It's like if an Exeter player went, I want to join a bigger or better club, and they went to Argyle. Of course, it's bigger and better.
In terms of history, Wednesday is bigger, but I sort of took that as personal disrespect.
Well, yeah, but you shouldn't because you are a small club, and I do agree with Charlie that I do think you're going to be fighting relegation this year. I've said that all along. I think we're probably going to get mid-table. I think we've got. Once the defence gels and we stop making stupid mistakes, I think we'll be fine.
If we finish by the 14th, I'm fine with that.
I think that's optimistic. I think Morecambe might finish ahead of you now. But moving on, Cambridge.
My predictions were poor.
Cambridge got a vital point at home to Oxford. No surprise that the newly promoted sides have actually done all right. But look, maybe that's the first game back. Also, Cambridge
I think they all got a draw, didn't they? I think Cheltenham drew through as well.
Yeah, so I do think that I think they'll go. I think we'll see sort of in the next 5-6 games a sort of decrease for them, but good points all around for them.
Yeah, very good point against a good Oxford team. I mean, as you can see, Oxford obviously had more possession. I mean, to be fair, against Oxford, when we played them, their team's good. I'm pretty surprised they didn't beat Cambridge because even throughout pre-season, Cambridge fans were really worried. I mean, some of the teams could surprise us, you know, like Cambridge could be better than a lot of people thought. But, you know, it's a good point. But, you know, I'm surprised Oxford didn't win that, to be honest. But, you know.
Yeah. I think I put 0-0 there, wasn't it? Was it their first 0-0 or 1-1?
1-1.
Can't remember.
1-1.
Well, same thing. 0-0, 1-1, same thing. But no, I look, Cambridge obviously have had to deal with not having the ball. I think all of them will have that. I don't think any of them have dominated the ball. So I think they're going to have to, and you probably work on that in pre-season, don't you? Work about how you are going to be without the ball and sort of all of that. But good points all around for them all, even when they are being dominated. But again, we're talking about a load of shots for Oxford and just not clinical enough. Just not clinical enough. You've got to be testing the keepers, especially the newly promoted ones, because there might be some nerves in there. There may be nerves coming out to a bigger league. You got to test them a bit better, and even for the ones who have just come down or the ones that are still, you got to test keepers, and we didn't do that anywhere near enough. And I think that's the first problem. If you're not going to test the keeper, you're not going to score, are you? So disappointment for Oxford, but you know, I'm sure they'll bounce back. They, as Charlie said, got an incredible team there. But briefly, obviously, looking at some of the other results, Bolton drew 3-3 with MK Dons.
That was an outstanding one.
Crewe Alexandra drew 1-1 with Cheltenham. Pompey beat Fleetwood 1-0. Gillingham 1-1 draw against Lincoln. Shrewsbury lost at home to Burton Albion 1-0. Sunderland getting a 2-1 win over Wigan Athletic. And Wickham, their first game back in League One, and they get a 2-1 win over Accrington Stanley. So that is League One done. On to League Two. And there's no better place to start than at Mansfield Town, where Bristol Rovers lost 2-1 to Mansfield Town. A 96th minute goal there. Liam says we'll smash Cambridge anyway. Let's hope so. There's the stats, though. As you can see, though, Charlie, what's that red card all about? I mean, you're the first team. You're the first team that had to put an extra line in the table for a red card.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, obviously, you can see by there they had a lot of shots, but a lot of them were shit anyway. I mean,
are they long distance shots, or are they
pretty much long distance, or you know, or just crap shots anyway? But it was annoying. Like first half, we were pretty poor. I mean, it was just so annoying. Like I was obviously the score prediction. I predicted 2-1. I was feeling optimistic, but like I said at the start, that was before I knew 3 of our strikers was out injured. So we only had 1 striker. We played 1 up front on his own. He Saunders up front, who he signed from Fleetwood. And Liam was saying it's a penalty. Like, if you've seen it before, right, the Mansfield striker, Ollie Hawkins, who they signed, like to be fair, he was, you know, probably the best player for them. He was an absolute handful, like 6'6". He was, you know, he was a good, but if you've seen it before, right, Ollie Hawkins was pulling Mark Hughes, our centre-back, and then Mark Hughes did it back to him, and the ref was like, oh, yeah, we'll give a penalty. It was never a fucking penalty.
It was a 50-50 challenge.
Absolutely. And the thing is, as well, that Hawkins, he didn't even complain.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even like ref, and the ref just give it. And it was probably because they're, you know, all their Mansfield fans were getting so, and they, oh mate, I can't fucking stand Mansfield either. But yeah, obviously
it was 50-50. I watched it.
Yeah, it's a and even going back on the red card, right? Basically, what happened? It was like, I think it was Ukola was trying to take a goal kick, and Danny Johnson, the one who they signed for more in the summer, was like in the penalty box still, and Coots like basically like pushed him away, and then Johnson like hit Coots, right, and then Coots like slapped a little slap to Johnson's head, and Johnson went down like an absolute knobhead, and he sent him off. It was a joke, and that's what cost us, because even though, as you can see, they had more possession, more shots, right, when we equalised for that wonder strike, we had the momentum. We were looking really good, and then that red card changed it all. You know, we were sat back then trying to, you know, hold on with 10 men, and then it was a piss take. But I'm sort of happy because that was, like I said at the start as well, that was Mansfield's first team. We had Nicholson, Finley, Kilgore, Pittman, Collins, Hanlon all out injured. We also had an injury to our left back, Trevor Clark, in the first half, which was annoying. Even though it was a loss, I'm not surprised because our record on the opening day, we haven't won on the opening day for 12 years. So I'm not really surprised that much. But now,
by the way, Max, we're not complaining as Rovers fans. We're just letting loose the truth.
All I will say is, look, I'm a very humble guy. I come from humble beginnings. Aaron was born into celebrity status at Doncaster and West Country Bristol Rovers as well.
Mate, if you was at the game,
he's just a bit upset.
If you was at the game, you would see, mate. Like the officials were shit. I mean,
both our referees were shit. You could see why we were angry.
I know, Liam. I did this at like 2 a.m. in the morning, so I was pretty tired. But you know, we move. Yuri says thoughts on Bar.
I don't believe this transfer for a second until it's official. But if it is a done deal and we do get it over the line, then I think he's a good youngster on loan for Watford. Of course, from Rochdale last season, was going to go to Man City, but joined Watford instead. And then we're going to possibly get him on season on loan. So we'll see what happens. It's a winger, so I think that's always good to get a winger in, especially when we're low on numbers with Taylor, Okanabir, and Hawula injured. But if we get this transfer done, then fair play. But I don't believe it until it's official. So I would not read into any fake accounts whatsoever.
I hear that, and thank you, Max. Yes, I am great, not a problem. Moving on, Exeter.
Yes, weird. There was a lot of. I mean, the thing is, as well,
it was a really.
And Aaron got it right as well. Aaron got it right.
I actually forgot to look at the scoreline, so I actually didn't know I got this right until now. So I'm fucking buzzing.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, there was quite a few in League Two which were draws, but it was just one thing. It was quite funny, Niall. Actually, on the way back from Mansfield in the services, we actually seen Bradford's first team coach, and we seen Derek Adams as well. It's pretty funny, to be fair. But no, I mean, it was weird. Like, there was a lot of shots, but again, no one being clinical.
It was a very open game. I read the report. It was a really, really open game, which very surprising for a Derek Adams side to be open. Right? As someone who has experiences football, him being open is not something you normally say about Derek Adams. So, no, really interesting game.
Maybe Derek.
No, I doubt
he's got to change it because Bradford, like, you've got to imagine Bradford fans, like, if they're seeing crap, because they're going to get over 15,000 as well this season. Every game.
He doesn't care.
If he plays defensive football, he is not safe for fans on the corner flags at the end of the match.
He doesn't care. And to be fair, his football in League Two is effective. So,
mate, honestly,
Bradford fans, if they do get annoyed by it, and as much as this pains me to say it, they need to shut their mouths because his football is effective. It will get them promotion. I've no doubt about it.
But Aaron, not got two promotions out of the league, so you just got.
Aaron, not everyone is Doncaster Rovers where they want to play pretty football but do nothing.
I just think that if he does anger the fans, he'll get
he won't because the thing is, yes, his football can be a bit shit to watch. Yes,
he's not promoted.
Yes, it's not the greatest to think, but Bradford have been in League Two for a little while now. They want to. It is, but the thing is, Derek Adams is an expert at getting teams out of League Two. He's got Argyle out of League Two when we haven't been out of League Two for donkey's years.
And Morecambe, who were on the smallest budget and never been promoted in their life.
So, and to be fair, Bradford's got a squad that will get them up this season.
So for him to go there, he will get them promotion. I've no doubt about it.
Especially looking at some of the other teams in that league, there's not a lot that could compete at the minute.
Of course. They just need to, the Bradford fans, if they do
going through a bit of a transition.
If the Bradford fans do get on his back, they just ought to remember that he has got 2 promotions out of this league. One automatically came second, the other via the playoffs with Morecambe. So I mean, they ought to just hush their gums and just deal with it.
And then the Bradford City get rid of him if they get promoted and go for an open.
No, I think
no, you can't do that. If a manager gets you promoted,
Morecambe did that.
No, Morecambe didn't. Derek left Morecambe.
No, Derek Adams left. Morecambe didn't get rid of him. He left because he obviously.
Well, no, it's quite easy to know why he left. Who's got a bigger budget? Bradford, even in League Two, has got a bigger budget than Morecambe.
And I think Morecambe knew deep down some of their stars were going to get sold in the end.
Yeah, so I look, Derek Adams' ball is effective. It will get them promotion. I've no doubt about it. If Bradford fans do get on his back, they just need to remember.
I mean, Kenny's
this man. Well, yeah, but he's not a Bradford fan.
Yeah, but Kenny don't even know.
Kenny chats more shit than some Arsenal fans.
Look, and I know Derek Adams more than everyone, like everyone here. And I know Derek Adams will get Bradford out of League Two. There's no doubt about it. He might not. Actually, he might even do it this season. I mean, as you said, the standard in League Two is shocking. But the next one, Carlisle drew 0-0 with. There was a few 0-0s around the league too.
I should have changed the score before this game.
But Carlisle drew 0-0 with Colchester. Smith, he says, first time I've seen Charlie in a while. He's been here a fair bit now. It was only over the summer he won here. But a very, very close game. Obviously, the stats really do speak for themselves. Yeah, Carlisle may have had more shots, but it seemed fairly even to me. Obviously, Chris would know better than all of us, I assume. But a good result for Carlisle, or do you think this might be 2 points dropped if they look back at it?
The thing I would say is, again on the show I was on last night, there was a Carlisle fan, and he said that Zach Clough, who's been good for them in pre-season, got injured before the game, so they didn't. He said they, like it says there, they had a lot of shots, but they didn't have anyone clinical up front. So that basically
I think for Carlisle it's a good point to build on, but for Colchester, with how bad it's been off the field over the last 12, 18 months, and financially it's been restraining on Colchester with their sort of budgetary problems, and obviously Hayden Mullins isn't the most experienced manager. I think for Colchester they've gained a point, but in my opinion I think it could be a point that maybe they should have turned into 3 if they wanted to really go for it, because I think Colchester could be in a bit of spot of bother this season. But for Carlisle, I think it's a point to build on, maybe, especially with the atmosphere coming back as well.
I disagree with that. Colchester have had to go away from home, and there weren't many away wins, to be brutally honest, because I do think, having fans back, especially the first time, I think it really does give you a real boost, and it's almost like a 12th man. And we haven't seen that in a while. So, no, I think Colchester going from away. What's the saying always? You win your home games, draw your away games, you're safe from relegation. So, no, I think Colchester probably take a point there. I think, they've gone to a stable League Two club. Carlisle are very stable. They're a good team. They're not really
League One at some point.
They're never really in a spot of bother, are they? So I think that's a really good point for Colchester, if I'm being brutally honest. Because I think that is a good point for Colchester. And Chris says we should have won. We had the chances, but it's a point we can build on. But I was glad to be back. Atmosphere was great. Colchester fans were great too. If we had Clough, we might have won. And I'm glad we didn't lose with everything, but that happened before the game concerning Carlisle. Yeah, obviously losing you sort of striker like Argyle did, never easy, but look, probably a solid point for both sides, and I'm sure they'll both take the positives as well as some negatives. Maybe just a bit more clinical chances for Carlisle, but when you haven't got your main striker, there's not a lot you can really do, is there? Moving on, Salford bottled it as well. They drew 1-1 with Leyton Orient at home at the Peninsula Stadium. This is an embarrassing result, if you ask me. I don't know what you guys think, but that's not.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing because it's its first game of the season. As you can see there, again, it was a pretty, like I said, like I think Orient will do pretty well this season. But it's a draw. It's a good stepping stone, as a lot of managers like to say. Unbeaten, but what can you? I mean, because I was looking at their lineup as well, and Salford's lineup, they had like all their new players. I mean, their team looks quality, but a point's a point. At least they didn't lose like we did. But decent point for both teams. But it is better for Leyton Orient though, being the away team.
Yeah, it's not good enough for Salford, I think. But Aaron, any thoughts on this game? It finished 1-1, not 0-0. I really need to work on that next time.
I just wish I sort of took a goal off my prediction and I would have been right. But I did say
same.
that Orient. I did think Orient was going to snatch it at the end, but I think it's a decent point for Salford, something they can try and build on. But I think for Orient, it's 3 points lost and a point gained for me. I think for both teams, to be fair. I think a very even game. Saw the highlights on EFL on Quest. By the way, shout out to EFL on Quest for getting their technical difficulties sorted in the end. I was wondering why we didn't get played in the highlights. Then they had some technical difficulties, so we got played at the end anyway. But I think that both teams can just look on this as a point gained and 2 dropped. So they move on and hopefully try and get the win next time. But a point apiece, very even game. I'd say it's about right.
That's fair. Moving on next, the last game that we covered was Tranmere, and they won 1-0. So I do get a point, finally, for getting the right score prediction. Not the right score line, the right score prediction. I did predict Tranmere to win, as did Aaron. Charlie, you are in the mud. But Walsall, as I said, there weren't many away wins, but
look at that.
That
crazy.
When you look at the score line, it says something different. When you look
that's
at
what I mean.
stats,
That's what I mean. I was nearly right, but Walsall couldn't finish, of course.
And there's a weird story behind this match. Mike Dean ended up taking over as 4th official, and he's a Tranmere fan.
Yeah, that shouldn't be allowed.
It's Mike Dean, so of course he was going to try and pay the referees for hours to happen.
Fuck off! It's only 4th official duties. What's the what? So he had to hold a board up. Big whoop! I've seen a fan.
No, he bribed the referees 20 quid.
Oh, fuck off, Donny! Fuck off! I'm not even gonna call you Aaron now. I'm gonna call you
how
Donny.
corrupt the EFL.
Oh, shut the fuck up! I've seen a fan do the 4th official duty.
Corrupt.
Well, no.
When you fan's more important than fucking Dean.
Well, no, but right. I'm gonna put you down here, right? So, firstly, there's no difference because Mike Dean wasn't there in a referee capacity in that game. He went as a fan. Just like if I was a professional referee and I didn't have a game and I went to watch an Argyle match, I'm there as a fan. Secondly, in the EFL, there's not really many referees just hovering about. There's a lack of referees, actually. It's not like you can with the Premier League maybe have a standby walking around or in the stands. There's not that ability. And second of all, it's not like he's had to run the line or have the whistle. He's been on the sidelines holding up the board. I don't think that it's corruption. I think there's clearly been an issue with one of the officials. And as always, by protocol, the stadium announcer says, can a referee, because you do ask, is there a referee in the stadium? Can you let yourself known to a steward? So because there is an issue. And that then, obviously, they would pick the highest official, which guess what? Mike Dean, being a Premier League referee, would be the highest official in the ground. Therefore, they would ask him to perform the duties of 4th official, which isn't that deep. He's just holding a board and doing the subs. It's not like Tranmere has gained anything out of it. It's not like he's run the line or blown the whistle as a referee. He's just been the 4th official. So it's not that deep. It's not that deep. But the EFL was shocking, but I just wanted to to let everyone know that it's not that deep. But the last results of League Two, obviously Forest Green Rovers 2, Sutton United 1, Harrogate with a great 3-2 victory over Rochdale.
There is a negative, though, to add to Harrogate because their next game's been postponed because of a COVID outbreak in the squad now.
Yeah, but they did get the 3 points, so I'm sure they're even happy with
the
3 points. Hartlepool, obviously, first game back in League Two with a 1-0 win over Crawley. Did you see the interview from the Crawley manager? He is fucking raging.
Dave Challoner's happy, but the Crawley manager's fucking fuming.
He is fuming.
I feel sorry for the media guy that had the outbreak of that.
It's his job. Northampton, obviously, first day back in League Two as well with a 1-0 victory over Port Vale. Oldham lost 1-0 to Newport County. Swindon, with
that is what I'm surprised on.
I told you Swindon were going to be up there this season.
Swindon with arguably the biggest shocking result of the weekend with a 3-1 away win over Scunthorpe.
But Swindon's team, apart from a few players, you wouldn't have expected that, but Swindon
were building that team, and I knew they were going to finish high this
season.
It's the first game of the season. It's the first game of the season.
It's one game.
Wait till the end when they get relegated, mate. Don't worry about that. Ben Garner in charge. They ain't doing jack shit.
The last one, obviously, Stevenage with a 1-0 win over Barrow. So that is Leagues 1 and 2 done. So let's look at who's leading. Now, I've actually sorted an amazing prize for whoever. I've sorted out an amazing prize for whoever wins this. The winner will get to spend an evening with a world-class manager at world-class facilities.
No fucking Plymouth for that.
No. The winner will get to spend the evening with Darren Moore from Sheffield Wednesday. So congratulations, Aaron. You have got yourself a meeting with whatever his name is.
Finally, I can get
Darren Moore.
Why he actually
and basically you also get a shirt of his club. And you get a season ticket. So congratulations, Aaron. You have just won yourself a season ticket at Sheffield Wednesday.
I'm getting a match. He's ready to burn it.
I'm joking. You win nothing.
I'm getting my fire pit.
I'm joking. You win fuck all. But you are currently leading, or I suppose. I suppose he's probably happier winning fuck all than a meeting with Darren Moore.
How was he leading anyway? He was copying. He was copying all our predictions.
No, I think he got. He got 2 points for the extra score, and then he must have shithoused his way to another one. Actually, City and Tranmere. He said that Tranmere would. I'm pretty sure you said Tranmere would win 2-1.
No,
let's go back.
Yeah, they won 1-0.
Yeah, you said. Yeah, so you get your point there. So Aaron is in the lead. I am second and Charlie is third. The reason I am second is because Argyle are in League 1 and Charlie are in League 2. So, the league superiority is one of the
That made no difference.
We are top of the league.
Yeah, that's the only time
I was just about to say, this is the only time that Donny will ever be top of the league in any way, shape, or form. But
give it till Christmas.
So what we'll do now is we've got about 7 minutes and then an hour. That's perfect. I've put a link in the chat. So if you want to come on and talk about your club and your result, then follow a link and you can come talk to us.
Are we doing our previews on Thursday for this weekend?
Yes, I was just about to say. So we've got another show, so we're going to have 2 a week now. Our next show is on Thursday, same time, 6:30. That show will obviously be doing the previews for the weekend, followed by the Monday show doing the thing. Because we found last season, you can't really do the previews and the reviews in the same show and have a good quality. So we're going to split it up into 2. So we'll be back on Thursday at 6:30. Big up to Jay, who says, big up Niall, Charlie and Aaron. But yeah, if you do want to call in, link is in the chat. And maybe you want to talk to Aaron about why Doncaster's shit. Maybe you want to talk about
the live chat and just feel it.
Wait, just before that, who had Plymouth and Donny got in the cup this week?
Walsall.
What about you?
I've got Peterborough. We've got Peterborough.
We got Cheltenham at home. I should be going to that as well.
I would say Peterborough's a tough one, but they've not had the greatest preseason either.
Yeah. We got battered by Luton.
I mean, if you want to
talk,
if you want to talk about Hull, you can, but you know.
Yeah, top of the league, mate. Mate, to be fair, I watched the longer highlights on the whole website. Preston looked absolutely dumb.
And that's the club that Ben Whiteman chose to ditch us for.
Yeah, and they're still a league above you, mind. Somehow.
Did Ben Whiteman actually play in that game?
Yeah, he did.
No idea.
I forgot he was on the pitch at that. Because I watched the highlights. I forgot he was on the pitch. He didn't look in the game at all.
No, I might send you a picture of the Doncaster player missing a pen those years ago in their playoff semi-final.
Is that Mark?
Actually, if you could do that, that'd be great, because then we could just torment Aaron and play it every 5 minutes. Just play the clip, make him watch it. Keith says, Charles, did you see Quadwaba?
That's a photoshopped picture. It's a fake. Don't believe it until it's official from the club's official account. Don't believe it.
Unbelievable. I can confirm Argyle are looking for a striker. If we get one, that's a completely different matter.
Apparently, because we got so many injured.
What I will say about our Carabao Cup opponents, I think if we're not concentrated, Walsall can provide some kind of threat. But again, look at what happened in the Tranmere match: 17 shots, about 3 or 4 on target. So
do you know the shittest bit? Apparently,
shit!
1 minute. So apparently, clubs can't actually stream Carabao Cup games because of because of broadcast rights or something.
Oh,
not that they've ever been.
They changed the iFollow as well, because you can't even watch a game on the weekend.
You can only watch midweek league games and EFL
shit, though, isn't
it? And some cup games. I just thought it was quite funny, because I was like, cup game might be on Argyle TV. Even if you're in America, you can't watch it. You have to suffer with audio coverage, which I thought was a bit shocking.
It's crap, guys.
Yeah, gotta love it. And you can't just blame iFollow, because they're just following the rules by the government.
The sooner we go to Doncaster Rovers,
right. That's precisely why I've just said that you can't blame iFollow, because we've got the same issue. It's not the iFollow platform.
It's not the iFollow platform, but
it's not even the EFL. It's the laws.
Wait, just one question to Aaron. Why was you getting all excited then? Have you signed Bar, have you?
No. I just saw something that Cheltenham fans might be excited for, and it might affect your Carabao Cup match tomorrow.
Well, they signed Vassell.
Yeah, they signed Vassell on a 1-year deal.
I thought you were getting excited that Doncaster had been given a 30-point deduction, which I thought would be quite fair.
If I was getting that excited about a Donny news, it would be that we've been taken over for millions or billions of pounds, and that might come.
Wow,
I thought he was getting excited because Donny are top on Aaron's predictions.
In the league, we're 20, I think in the league we're 20th at the minute.
Can't beat 24th, boys. Cannot beat it.
Mate, I think we're 16th or 17th.
17th. Yeah. And you guys are bottom. Plymouth's bottom.
I don't know why you're getting excited over one game. Jesus, you're going to be bottom.
That's where they're going to stay as well. To be fair, I think Plymouth are going to find it hard this year.
No, I think once the defence gels, it'll be fine. Once the main people come back, so once Cooper comes back, for fuck's sake, he's actually training. I think he's in full training, so he's not far away now. When he comes back, I think we'll see a difference for us. But it's.
By the way,
League One's always going to be difficult. League One's always going to be difficult, isn't it? Especially
this year as well.
Yeah, if you look at teams in there, I can't really think of many easy games, to be fair. But we've played a team that you would assume are going straight back up. We sort of for about 20 minutes each half, I thought we dominated possession, dominated play, just didn't really do much with it, which is frustrating. But as we've seen this week, there's not been many away wins. I think we need to let the
AFC Wimbledon. Oi, oi.
Well, yeah, but that's because there's no home atmosphere at the Keepmoat. But
we did get put down by Wimbledon fans saying, "Is this a library?" And is there?
Well, I suppose when you're saying that, is it a library or a fire drill?
And Wimbledon brought 800 fans. They only brought 800 fans. We brought mate,
800 fans for Wimbledon is class.
I was just about to say that's not bad for them. We took, I think, 1,200 to Rotherham, which class following.
Class as well. We took 1,333.
As always,
and Mansfield, mate. Do you know what? I really get pissed off because there's not many teams, even in League One and League Two, that actually don't have a drum. Mansfield fans had a drum, and they were saying on Twitter, "Oh yeah,
yeah, we brought a drum to that Black Bank march. There was a drummer there. There was a drummer walking past me as well beforehand.
Yeah, but you got a drum. You got a drummer anyway in your home end.
Yeah,
because you can't create any atmosphere.
Yeah, we've got a drum, but we use it sometimes. It's normally down Denmark end if we do.
The best Doncaster drummer is a guy called Macca. If it's no one else,
best Donny drummer mind.
Liam says we took 1,102. Still class following.
That's good, yeah.
That's really good. We're getting put down for atmosphere by 800 Wimbledon fans. It's still quite
our goal always travel mad. I don't know why people get surprised when I read out our attendances, because we always take a really large following. I think it was
I just thought
Tuesday
is there a way
night
to reconfigure the windows so it goes in the order of the predictions league table? So I'd be top, Niall would be middle, and Charlie would be bottom.
B.
What? No.
These StreamYard windows here, like configure them in the way of the league table.
Are on top of the window now, mate.
Nah.
Mate, you're bottom. That's where Donny are finishing this season.
But no, I think we're going to wrap it up there. That was class.
There's no one coming on.
Apparently not, mate. Link's been put in the chat. They haven't decided to take us up on that opportunity, and time's run out. Because my F1 game's paused and I want to get back to it. I
want to get back to telling Rovers fans that bar isn't happening until the club says it is.
Yeah, I've got a stream at 9 anyway, doing Premier League predictions, predicting the Premier League. Yeah, well, if you want to come on, you can. I think there's space.
I think I've got some stuff to do anyway.
He's washing his hair. That's the case. Rude little bastard.
I am getting ready to batter Walsall and Darren Moore.
Yeah.
Mate, he's got the same hairstyle as Luke McCormick.
Nah, Luke McCormick does it better, I think. But no, look, we are going to wrap it up. We'll be back on Thursday, as I said, with a brand new show. Well, it's not really a brand new show. It's just part 2 of the EFL show. It's like instead of having like a 2-hour Monday sesh, it's split into 2, which is fine because it actually makes it easier to prep. Because if not, it would be so much work. But before we go, do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel as well. Do all of that lovely stuff. Put your comments in. I'm sure Rachel or Prime or Indiana or I check comments sometimes, but I don't get notified. I might pop in and check the comments, but yeah, I'm sure they do read their comments. At least I do.
Make sure you click the notifications bell as well if you haven't already.
Yes.
So you know when us and all the other videos on and streams on the channel will be.
But mainly us, because
mainly us, of course.
I mean, come on, like yes, you may have grounded Liverpool. Gang. Yeah, you may have grounded Liverpool and you've grounded Arsenal's and grounded.
Yeah, they're not proper clubs, are they?
They're just they're tin pot clubs. You want the real clubs. You want the real action and the camaraderie between 2 normal fans and a Donny.
We'll see you at the end of the season.
We love it. That's a threat. Aaron woke up this morning, chose violence. Love to see it.
That's just inherited.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll be changing places with Donny. It's fine.
It's just inhabiting the spirit of which Llewellyn's getting pissed off at his players for not performing.
Oh, what? So next year it's going to be me and Charlie in League One, because I don't think Argyle's getting promoted, but me and Charlie in League One and Donny in League Two. That'll be lovely.
Donny in League Two.
Nah, we're all going to be in League One. All of us will be in League One, safe and
I like the sounds of the first one. Me and Charlie, the West Country in League One. Because firstly, it would be great to eliminate a long trip like Doncaster off the schedule. To be fair, if a few,
it should be good when they're playing Weymouth away next season.
Yeah, I mean, if a few more Northern bastards could get relegated or promoted, that would just be swell. Cheltenham and Cambridge can stay because they're quite short distances for us anyway. Obviously, I wouldn't even mind having extra in our league. It's a really short away day, that is. But to be fair, it is also funnier watching them in League Two suffering like bitches.
Yeah, we got them in 2 weeks. We got them in 2 weeks' time as well. The tickets.
Batter 'em.
I need to get my ticket.
Let's hope you win. But you can find me on Twitter at Niall_PAFC and on YouTube at Let's Talk Premier League. As you heard, 9 p.m, I have got Premier League predictions coming out. We had EFL watch-alongs over the weekend. Well, Championship, because, Sky doesn't know what League 1 and 2 are, but always nice to see. But yeah, had a few of them. Got Premier League as well. Got a great one for Saturday. Got someone called Manchester United. Don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're coming up against Leeds United. I've also
come on, Leeds.
Tim Pot Clubs. But Charlie, where can they find you, mate?
Yeah, at One Rovers Vlogs on Twitter and One Rovers Vlogs on YouTube as well.
Perfect. And Donny Aaron, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Challoner, trying to get to a K. Snapchat Coach_Chal19, Instagram at Aaron Challoner Official, nearly at 2K there. TikTok at Aaron Challoner, YouTube Coach Chow, big video coming tonight. Throw Football DRC Walsall preview coming out this evening as well. So stay tuned for all of that. And yeah, we gel together, we lose together, we win together, we Wellens together.
Rachel says, I will make your intro shit if you keep cussing my club. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that you have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge. Not my fault. If you want a real manager, you just need to look at Ryan Lowe or I would say Joey.
Joey Barton at Man United. Yeah, go on.
I would say Joey Barton, but he's I don't know if I want to start backing him until after a court case.
Oh yeah,
because that could get quite controversial if I'm backing him and he's found out to be guilty.
We'll back to United in the cup, don't worry.
Just like I'm not even gonna say it. We're gonna end it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Also, there's the outro. Perfect. Until next time, guys. Thanks for watching and peace out.